Hey, beautiful people. Gene Williams here, and welcome to Where is the Love? Obviously, I can't do this without my mom and my partner, Stephanie.
Hey y'all.
You called me off
Uh
guard there, Mark. I was like, oh, wait a minute, what?
I yeah, I went out by accident. Hey
Oh.
y'all, we here, we in here, we up in here.
Up in here, up in here.
Oh my goodness. Um so hello everybody. Welcome to Where is the Love? I don't know how much you said before I got in here. But you can catch us on Roku, on Amazon Fire, and on Amazon Fire right now. Um, just search POD space LIVE, and you can watch us live right now on TV. You can also catch us on our YouTube channels, which is what I was trying to do. You can catch us on our YouTube channels right now, live, or you can catch the replay. So hopefully you catch this. We have been talking about bullies for a very long time, but we haven't taken the time to talk about uh, helping the bully. So today, that is what we are doing. Um, I'm trying to pull up something on my. Oh my goodness. So, Jean, if you want to say something or get started, I'm trying to
Yeah.
see where my stuff is here.
Okay. So first thing I would like to say
Oh,
is being empathetic is a beautiful thing. Um, and even for people who are bullies, just make sure that you understand first and foremost, you cannot change anybody. They have to be willing to change themselves. All you can do is set the example. So I had to preface this show with that statement because it's very important to understand. Again, we have no control over what other people do. You can only be an example. So so again, as she said, you want to say something?
no, I my stuff is not working. Um,
I can go ahead and start if you need me to.
yeah, because what I'm looking for is not. Go ahead and start, please.
All right.
Sorry,
So
y'all.
yeah,
Be
all good.
patient.
Yeah, yeah. Be patient, peoples. All right. So the show today is again about building empathy, helping bullies understand their impact and transform their behavior. So first, we want to help them recognize the lasting pain they cause others. Research shows that bullying can lead to long-term emotional distress, depression, anxiety, and even trauma in victims. The damage does not end when the bullying stops. It can continue, it can follow someone for years, impacting their self-worth, relationships, and ability to trust others. Encourage
Absolutely.
people, encourage people to think beyond the moment and recognize that their hurtful actions could lead to life altering consequences for their victims. Ask them to reflect on how they would feel if the same pain was inflicted on them or on their loved ones. Um,
Absolutely. I'll interject so you can slow down for a minute. Um, so people do if people think about how things make them feel when they're mistreated or abused or disrespected or bullied, if people think about how they feel when it's done to them, then that will help them not to do it to other people, to think twice, as they say, and not do it to someone else. So um, we aim to help the bully today. We aim to help the bully. You want to go ahead?
yeah, actually, I wanted to say also something I think will be important for them to understand is that you're bullying, that could lead to, retaliation from the victim, you know, or they could harm themselves, and you could also cause yourself to end up having a record or something of that nature. Get arrested for your tactics or get in trouble or have a negative reputation. So
Yes.
those other things I feel like are important for the bully to understand uh,
Yes.
in the process of addressing and becoming cognizant of their behaviors and the effects of them.
Ag- Agreed. Agreed. So did you do the empathy statement?
No, no, I'm about to though.
I can.
Okay, I don't try to remember. Did I? Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't. You didn't.
Right.
Um. So an empathy statement for some to help to encourage people to think beyond um, those hurtful moments. So an empathy statement would be: I know you may not realize it, but your words and actions hurt others deeply. And I believe you wouldn't want to be the source of someone else's pain. So if people think like that, if you say something like that, that will get people to think, oh, let me choose another, you know, let me choose another way, you
Right.
know. Um, so go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean that would, and so to me, this situation would be um, good for a bully who has some sort of empathy, because we got those narcissistic bullies who don't care about anything or
Yes,
anyone. So you make a statement of empathy to them, and, and you might get raked over the coals.
right.
So, I, so I mean, I want to make that differentiation right there. Like empathy. Okay, okay. Let me grind you down some more. So,
Right. That's true. And we've talked about narcissists a lot on this show.
yeah,
So that's a great point that you just brought up because
yeah,
that is so true. So
okay,
thank you for bringing that up.
oh yeah, right. So, I encourage them to reflect on how. Did you just read that?
No.
Okay. Encourage them to reflect on how they would feel in the victim's shoes. Studies indicate that practicing empathy reduces aggressive behaviors. By understanding how others feel, you build emotional intelligence and compassion.
Yes.
Another statement of empathy. Imagine if someone treated you that way. How would you feel? It's okay to reflect and change.
Yes.
That's important, because the only constant in life is change. So,
That's very true. Very true. So I'll go on. Help them see that everyone is fighting their own battles. Interject whenever you want. Most people have challenges they face that aren't visible. Bullying only compounds their stress, leading to isolation and emotional withdrawal. We don't know what people are going through, and I say that at work all the time.
right,
We don't know what people are going through, what they are experiencing, why they're acting the way they're acting, what's going on, what's happening. So,
right,
when you force them to do something or try to control them to doing something, aka bullying them to do something, that can really cause more stress and more harm, and then it upsets the person, and then so how they respond to it is because of what they're already experiencing. So if people start thinking like that, I don't know what they're going through. They might snap at you if you say something, to
right,
them, and you don't know why. It's not that they're trying to snap or that I'm making an excuse for them snapping, but we don't know what other people are going through. So it's always best. I'm just going to say it like this: to mind your own business. If you're not saying something or doing something helpful to somebody else, leave
right.
them alone. And I say that so much. And but leave people alone. Stop messing with people. Stop aggravating people. Stop,
Right.
stop. Right. So go ahead. I just had to say that because I've been saying that so much at work.
Yeah. And also treat people like you want to be treated. I mean, everything that you do has an equal and opposite reaction. So you do understand that you'll get it back and worse.
Yes. Yes.
Especially
I
the more
don't,
you do it. Yeah.
yep. I don't think people be caring. Well, some the narcissists don't care, but other people, just some of them, I think they think they're invincible, and ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I'm just gonna do what I want to do and treat people the way I want to. Ain't nothing
Right.
gonna happen. I ain't never scared.
Right. And then somebody catch you in the alleyway and beat you
Yep,
down. Beat your
right.
head, beat you down to the white meat. You bust your head wide open to the white meat show. Feel like they wanna be treated. You should treat them right.
Oh my goodness. Where are we? Fighting about. Did we do the empathy statement on that one?
I don't think so.
No, no, we didn't. You want to, or you want me to?
Yeah, I know. So the empathy statement here is: I know life can be hard for you too, but hurting others won't ease your own struggles. Let's find a better way.
Right,
Basically, get your shit together, man. That
right.
ain't gonna work, man. It don't bust your head. I don't know where
Right.
that came from. It was just one of my personalities came out like, hey, let me say this. Yeah,
Well, now do you feel better?
yeah, I feel a little bit better now.
Ah, all right. So encourage self awareness. That it. Yeah, encourage self awareness by suggesting they keep a journal of their interactions. You're suggesting to the bully to keep a journal of their
Right.
interactions. And so journaling promotes mindfulness, allowing you to recognize negative patterns and adjust them.
Yep.
Journaling can be so good for that reason. Research shows that self reflection can decrease impulsive or harmful behavior.
Right.
Journaling is great because when you journal and you see that you're doing something, maybe it makes you aware of something that you weren't aware of. So then you're at the what I call the fork in the road. All right, you now you've been made aware of this. What you gonna do? You gonna stay there, keep doing what you're doing, or you gonna choose a different road? The choice is yours.
Right.
So if you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna keep getting the same
Same
result.
result.
Yeah. So yeah.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Like,
Yeah.
and
Insane in the membrane.
insane in the brain.
So the empathy.
Insane. Got no brain.
So the empathy statement for that is taking a moment to write down how you feel after each day might help you see what's really going on inside because it's going on inside you. I know it's not easy, but it could help. So you can do the next one and the empathy statement as well.
All right. So show them examples of kindness and encourage them to mirror those behaviors. Positive role models can greatly influence behavior. Seeing the rewards of kindness, like deeper friendships and mutual respect, can motivate change in your behavior. So the statement of empathy there would be: when you're kind, people respond in a way that lifts everyone up, including you. I've seen it. I've seen it in you before.
That's a good statement. Good way to encourage the bully. By you know letting them know to be kind, and then basically saying, "I know you can do it. I've seen you do it before."
Right.
That makes them think, "Oh, wow. Well, let me do better."
Right.
Yeah, let you do better and stop the foolishness.
Right. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. Um, Also, like, so it's good to tell them as well. I feel like, understand that changing a habit and a personality, it takes work, it takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes awareness. You have to be aware when you're doing those things that are not healthy or constructive. And like you said, journaling helps kind of keep a track record of your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, and then how you acted. So if you realize that when I'm upset or when I'm tired or when I'm dealing with XYZ, that makes me act like this. So then it's like when you're in that moment, you can be aware, okay, hey, remember, when you get upset or when you're tired or whatever, this is how I act. So if I want to change it, then I have to be uh, conscious in the moment and cognizant of my actions. So I'm just saying,
Right.
it's work. Work, change is work. Consistent. constant work.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm learning that more and more. And not only learning it, I'm recognizing when it's a learning or teachable moment,
Right,
a learning moment for me or a teachable moment for somebody else, for me to share and teach somebody else. So
right,
I'm becoming more and more aware of that, which is a great thing because it's helping me, to be a better person and realizing that I am doing the work to, help, make myself become a better me.
right.
And also, to help somebody else.
Yeah,
And it really empowers me and inspires me when I'm talking to somebody and they are helped by whatever it is by the information that I shared.
yeah,
Um, that's a part of me that I absolutely love, and it makes me think of when and I've said this before, when I heard the name Barnabas when I was a kid, and then
yeah,
somebody said the name Barnabas means encourager, and I said I want to do that,
mhm,
and so that's what I enjoy doing, encouraging, empowering, and inspiring other people.
right. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So go ahead with the next part since I've been talking.
All right, so the next thing is teach them to express frustration through healthy outlets like sports or art. Physical activity and creative outlets are proven ways to reduce stress and aggression. Engaging in them regularly can decrease the likelihood of harmful behavior. The empathy statement there is I understand how overwhelming emotions can be. Channeling them into something productive like a hobby could help ease that pressure.
Yes. Yes. So, with these empathy statements, what we're doing is giving the bully a different focus, a new focus,
Right.
um, to help them. You
Yep.
want to add anything?
Now, yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said wholeheartedly.
So, encourage them to develop better communication skills to resolve conflicts
Right.
peacefully. Um, So, poor communication often leads to misunderstandings and aggression. By learning to articulate your needs and frustrations, you
Right.
avoid resorting to hurtful words or actions.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
Communication.
Yes,
Good.
man, that's a piece right there. A
Yeah.
huge piece. People underestimate the importance of. We just had this conversation. We just had this conversation. People underestimate the importance of communicating and communicating clearly and
Yes.
respecting other people's time.
Yes.
Anyway,
Somebody's having a flashback.
man, I be having them sometimes. Like, I remember this. Anyway, so yeah, just but yeah, so clear and concise communication alleviates uh, confusion.
Yeah.
You know, but when you don't, you have like for instance, like if you have so you're going through something instead of flipping out on the person, be like, yo, what you're saying, or I'm frustrated right now. Can we talk about this later? Or what you're saying bothers me, or whatever. Just being aware enough to realize I'm having an issue right now. This situation isn't sitting well with me for whatever reason, and being able to address that and voice that clearly. Like I said, it would create more openness and less confusion and less likely uh, for a person to go off and do something like bullying or trying to manipulate and control people. That's oh
Yeah.
Lord, that's a long one right there.
So the empathy statement for that would be sometimes we lash out because we don't have the words. Let's work on finding those words together. So again, communication, good communication is a big key to having relationships, um, any kind of relationship.
Yep. Yep. And I so this is also always plug therapy. Um, Therapy is a great way to find those words, get those tools so that you can communicate effectively. A lot of times we just weren't taught how to communicate because people generally, it's not a it's not something that most people are born with to communicate well. It's something
Yeah.
that you have to learn over time. So that's a big piece there.
Yeah. So help them build empathy by sharing personal stories of times they've been hurt.
Mhm.
Empathy is often learned by listening to others' experiences. Studies show that personal stories are effective in increasing empathy and reducing aggression. So, the first sentence, empathy is often learned by listening to others' experiences. When you hear other people's experiences, that helps you if you are and if you have any empathy in you, that helps you to be like, oh man, I feel bad for them, or oh man, not feeling sorry for them, but thinking, you know, I can that can happen for me too. How can I help them? So, Jean, take that and explain empathy more.
Let's see. What's a good way to explain empathy? Empathy is, I would say, like trying to understand where a person is coming from,
Yeah,
trying to understand their experience, and um, I guess you would say honoring, their experience, and just like I said further, trying to understand
yeah.
um, what they're going through.
Yeah, definitely. Sympathy is feeling sorry for them, and Jean just
Right,
explained a
right,
good way, or gave a good definition of empathy.
yeah,
Because I know empathy is not feeling sorry for, but
right,
it's a way of encouraging,
right,
a person, or the best way that you just said the word was understanding.
right,
Understanding, oh, that's why this is going on with them, or
right.
oh, that's why they're acting like this, or oh, that's why they said this.
Hmm.
They're hurting, but I can empathize with them. I can feel what they're feeling, you know.
Right. Hmm.
So
I think another good example of empathy is like the ability to be involved in a situation and take yourself back from it and see it from a broader perspective, like you just said. So, that's why they did X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? Like a person who has the ability to be empathetic has the ability to take themselves out of it and try to. I don't really want to use the word dissect, but I guess that would be it would fit
yeah,
to to dissect the situation from a detached standpoint.
yeah,
And like you said, sympathy is more like feeling sorry for a person, and most times people don't want or need that. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
empathy is what they need. They need understanding. They need a person who's trying to create that space so that they can be vulnerable without judgment. So
yeah. I like that. So then the after you help them build empathy by sharing personal stories of times they've been hurt, then the empathy statement to that would be, I know you've been hurt before. Remember how that felt. So you got to remember you're talking to the bully. So you have the power to prevent someone else from feeling that way. So in other words, treat people the way you want to be treated. If you
treat
don't
'em
want to be,
like that.
you gotta look like that. Oh my goodness. So then the next one is remind them you can do it.
Remind them that everyone makes mistakes, but but growth comes from trying to be better. Cognitive behavioral research reveals that reflecting on mistakes and learning from them fosters positive personal growth, reducing the tendency to bully or harm others. So the sympathy statement there is, I know it's tough to face your actions, but I believe you can grow from this. Change is part of being human. And again, like you said earlier, it's making a situation like that a teachable moment.
Yeah.
So, hey, you did this, and so I mean, it's not okay. You realize that you did something wrong. So now, Let's track it back to the start, and let's start making those changes so you don't do this again.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the good thing about something that I was just thinking about when you were saying that is when it comes to a bully, if you respond to them in a bullying way, then they're not going to hear you. But if
Right.
you respond to them in a caring way and say, with a caring tone, hey, how would you feel if somebody did that to you? Or has that ever happened to you before? Okay, so how did you feel when it happened
Right.
to you? So then, now that you remember how it felt to you,
Connecting the
don't
dots.
do that to somebody else. You
Right.
know.
Now,
So
yeah, and in that way, you're connecting the dots between your actions and the effect of them, and then how it reflects on you and how you experience it as well. If you've been through trauma and pain, and then someone you do that same thing to someone that's like, okay, you remember how you felt? You were devastated when that happened. So, like you said, why would you, you know, do that to someone else?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
making them responsible and accountable for their actions.
that's good and
Right.
true. So did I do the last one or did you?
I believe I did.
So encourage them to apologize to those they've hurt. Apologies are important for healing, both the victim and the perpetrator. A sincere apology can help rebuild trust and repair relationships. Some people don't like to apologize, but the empathy statement to that is it takes courage to apologize, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself and for others. So the courage to apologize is like I used to think, if I apologize to a person that they would treat me bad, think that, it's okay to treat me bad if I apologize to them or if I ask them to forgive me for something.
Yeah.
So I had to learn, the courage in that is to just do it. Don't be afraid of their response. Just
Right.
do the good thing. So it took me years to get there and to understand it like I just said it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, well, I was actually just gonna, add to that. And I absolutely agree. It's like, shoot, what did you just say? Say it again. The last part of what caught me.
The courage and me apologizing to people and thinking that if I ask them to forgive me, that part.
Right. Yeah. So what I was thinking is that in a situation like that, we have to learn how to do things like that without ulterior motives. You know, you just do it because, like you said, it's the right thing to do. You apologize because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
And how they react is is up to them, and that's their
yeah,
karma to deal with. But as long as you did the right thing, then you are assuaged of any negative karma from the actions. You made amends as long as you apologize and make amends. Let's say it like that. Because the
yeah,
big thing is you can apologize all day long. Some people use that as a tool of manipulation to constantly apologize, do things, and then I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No, you apologize and you make amends by not
yeah.
doing it anymore.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that was good. So the next one, help them
Okay,
identify.
yeah. Help them identify their own strengths so that they feel less need to tear others down. Amen to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
bullies often struggle with self-esteem issues. That's a big thing right there, and they don't want
yes,
to admit it.
yeah.
Recognizing their own value can reduce the need to boost their ego by putting others down. Mm, mm, mm.
After you read the empathy statement, I'm gonna comment on this.
Yeah. You have the empathy statement is you have incredible strengths. You don't need to diminish others to feel good about yourself.
And so that's
Oh,
part of. Go ahead.
you go ahead. You know, no,
And so
no.
that's part of what I was gonna say is that people that have self-esteem issues, if I talk down to you and bad about you, that's gonna make me feel better about myself. It's gonna make me feel in control, and it's gonna make me feel powerful, uh, over you. So I'm gonna talk bad about you because I feel horrible about myself. So kind of that reverse psychology.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Well, yeah. So, like you were saying, it's like to project the feelings of inadequacy off of myself. I project them onto you,
Yeah,
so that I don't have to feel. I can be numb and cause you harm while I ignore my own feelings of inadequacy. And I've
yeah,
never understood that. That has always puzzled the hell out of me. And
yeah,
how do you feel better after treating somebody like Shiati? I never
yeah,
understood
yeah.
it always. I don't know if it's over my head or under my feet or whatever, but I just never. It doesn't.
Agree with it.
It's like it doesn't equate in my head. I don't. My consciousness does not cannot calculate that to make
Yeah,
sense. It's irrational because I don't know what.
yeah. Well, to narcissists, it don't matter. I don't care what you think, how you think about what I do. I'm gonna be in control, so I'm gonna manipulate. I mean, we just keep saying the same thing over and over. I'm gonna manipulate the situation so that I'm always on top. You
Right.
know, in control, in power, and I don't care how you feel because this is what I'm doing. So you
Right.
just gotta take it.
You ain't talking to me, partner. Shut up, baby.
You want me to do the next part? Can't remember.
Reinforce.
Yeah.
Okay. Reinforce their positive behaviors with praise. Positive reinforcement encourages repeated good behavior. Psychologists have found that praise can foster self esteem and promote long lasting behavioral change.
Wow.
So the empathy statement here is I saw how you handled that situation kindly. That was really impressive, and I know you can do it more often.
So to those that are excited about doing people wrong and being in control, uh, they need validation. And so that's basically what this is saying. uh I'm gonna give you validation. I'm gonna build you up. The word ain't coming. I'm gonna build you up. I'm gonna edify you because this is gonna make you basically still doing the same thing I said a while ago, using reverse psychology.
Right.
you know and so then they're like, oh, and it sometimes it has a lot to do with who's doing it. Like if it's a teacher and the student has been struggling and bullying everybody, and then the teacher says something like that, then the student is like, oh, the teacher sees me as different than I really am, and I like getting that build
Good.
up. Yeah, so let me do this more. And so like I said, it's like, reverse psychology. The
Right.
teacher, instead of jumping on the student, you know and fussing at him, said, I know you can be nice. I've seen you do it. I've seen you do better.
Right.
And the kid wants to do better. And then I'm using teacher and kids, as an example, but it goes with anybody.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. And I mean, so, and like you said, it's like reverse psychology on the positive side. I mean, you know, to edify somebody and help them build them up to help them recognize that they can do
Better
better
than what they doing.
things, right? Make better choices, have a better influence on the world around them, as opposed to creating negative vibrations around them. So yeah,
Yeah.
that reverse psychology works both ways, man.
Yeah. So encourage them to surround themselves with positive influences.
Yeah,
Peer pressure is a major factor in bullying. Surrounding oneself with positive, non aggressive individuals decreases the likelihood of engaging in or encouraging harmful behavior. So, an empathy statement would be sometimes it's easier to fall into bullying when we're around negativity. Let's find people who lift you up instead. So instead of going along with the crowd, which is peer pressure, find a better crowd to hang out with. Somebody that's doing some positive things, or a group that's doing positive things and not negative things, and being aggressive and making people feel bad and horrible, and beating them down.
Yep. Yeah. Because you are a reflection of those who you hang around. You got to
Yeah,
think about that at all times. The vibration that you hang around is you. So you hang around negative people who do negative things, and that becomes your actions, and you also begin to reflect and pull that into your reality more. So,
yeah,
you know, man, be wise about your tribe, man. Be
yeah.
wise about your tribe.
That's so important. Because if you're not wise about your tribe, you're gonna end up doing all kind of stuff and end up in all kind of bad situations and negative situations because you didn't choose your tribe wisely, or you didn't choose a positive tribe, people that lift you up and not knock you down.
Right. Yep.
So
All right. And support them in building healthier relationships based off of mutual respect. Research shows that bullying damages relationships, while mutual respect strengthens social connections, creating a more fulfilling and supportive environment. And the ending statement for that would be healthy friendships feel so much better than ones built upon fear. You
yeah,
deserve those kind of relationships.
it's so hard to be in relationships when you're filled with fear. You're not able to function well. um, Operating in fear is a horrible thing for your mind, emotionally, mentally. Everything is jacked up. Your body is out of whack because you're operating in fear. And so, um, again, choose wisely. Choose positivity, uh, positive groups, positive people to be around, positive things to listen to, positive. And I said this, but positive relationships to engage in. I didn't say it in those words, but
Yeah.
same thing. So you want to add something?
Yeah. And when you have a relationship based off of fear, it's not a true friendship.
Yeah,
You Fear is a prison that we're often held um, in that we're not aware of it. You know,
yeah,
but you know good and well if you're like, say for instance, you're in a situation with your mother or whatever, and you're afraid of her reaction to you know what you may do or say,
mm-hmm,
then you walk on eggshells and you can't truly be yourself and be open and
right,
vulnerable because you're always like, I don't know what's going to happen if I do this. And
yeah,
that's not, so therefore you're not allowing yourself to be truly open.
yeah,
And that creates a false relationship.
yes. And nobody likes to live in fear. Um, and when you're living in fear, sometimes that can make you, react or respond to people uh, in an unsafe way, you know,
Right.
to yourself or to others in an unsafe way because you're full of fear, scared of what's gonna happen. And so always be honest and truthful with yourself
First and
first,
foremost.
and then with other people. It'll be easier to do it with other people. You want to
Right.
add something else?
Nope. Ready for the
Okay.
next.
So encourage the bully to focus on self improvement rather than comparing themselves to others. So, constant comparison can lead to insecurity and jealousy. I've seen it over and over and over again, and I've experienced it as well. And it's horrible. I'm me. I do me like I do me.
one.
Don't compare me with somebody else.
Right.
Don't do that. I don't like that. And who likes that? I mean, especially, oh my goodness. So who likes that? If you think like if somebody is comparing me to somebody, for example, and I think that person is better than me, then that's where the insecurity and the jealousy comes in.
Right.
You know, um, I don't like being compared to other people. Um, and I don't like people comparing themselves to me. You do you, you be you, I be me, I do me. And if we don't like the way we do ourselves, then we're not the only people in the world. There's other people in the world,
You know.
to be around. So
Yeah.
find somebody that's a negative relationship.
Right.
So find a positive relationship, somebody that you're not comparing yourself to, uh, and putting yourself down, because they're doing better than me. They make thousands of dollars and I don't. So, I already put myself, maybe put myself in a lower category than them. And then somebody compares us, then that makes me, devalue that relationship even more. And that person may not have even done nothing to me, but somebody is comparing us. Yeah, that's a whole mess. I just
Yeah.
That's something that really gets to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, and when you compare, when you compare yourself to others, or they do it to you, or however it goes, it's devaluing the beautiful uniqueness that we were all created
Yes.
with. We are not
Yeah.
like there's no way that you can do we can do the very same thing,
And do it
and you're gonna
differently.
do it the way you do it. I'm gonna do it the
Yeah.
way I do it. As long as the job is done, that's all that matters. The only competition that you should be having is with the person that you see in the mirror every day.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
we're
I
all
agree.
uniquely and we are all beautifully and wonderfully made to be
Yes.
unique versions of the Creator. Um,
Yes.
and again, when you try to be like someone else, you're like I said, I'm repeating myself now, but you're devaluing what you were and who you were created to be.
Yeah.
So just ultimately focus on becoming a better version of yourself every day, and don't worry about what people think about you or what they may say, because people are people, and they gonna say what they gonna say. At the end of the
Yep.
day, it only matters to you if you agree to it.
Yeah.
So if someone calls you a name or says something about you, it only matters if you agree to it. If you know it's not true, or you don't allow that to resonate with you, or claim that as who you are, you good. It doesn't matter what other people
Right.
think about you. It don't
Right.
matter. Be your
Right.
best you.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I agree. Um, so thing went off. Sorry.
You
What's
good.
did I finish reading that? I'm going back into.
I got you.
Okay,
Constant,
no. Go ahead and read it again.
constant comparison can lead to insecurity and jealousy. Focusing on self improvement instead builds self worth and reduces the impulse to belittle others.
Yeah.
The empathy statement there is, it's hard not to compare yourself to others, but focusing on becoming your best self will bring more happiness than trying to bring others down.
Yeah.
Say that. When you
Yep.
focus on yourself, the only person you can control, you ain't got time to be worried about what other people are doing.
Right.
I don't know what he doing over there, bro. I'm here working on me.
Yeah.
So what he doing over there ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing, nothing.
I love it. And it's so true.
Yeah,
So also teach them, the bully, about emotional triggers and how to manage them. Understanding and managing emotional triggers is a key to avoiding aggressive outbursts.
right.
Emotional intelligence training has been shown to decrease conflict and bullying.
Yes, yes.
We have to learn how to manage our emotional triggers. Uh, you want to add something?
Yeah, man. So that'll help a lot with like all relationships. When you know that certain things trigger you, not only can you tell others, hey, that triggers me, but you can also work on that,
Yeah,
because you can't expect everyone to be like to not trigger you. I
yeah,
mean, there's going to be times that you're going to be triggered, but
yeah,
the way that you react to it matters the most. You can take a trigger as a moment to be introspective and start thinking, man, what is this trigger? What does this come from? What does this stem from? And
Yep.
you start to track it back to its root, and then you address it. Is this going on now, or is this something that, from my past that this situation triggered in me, which is what a trigger is. Old pain, old trauma being reawakened by circumstances or situations.
I like the way you define that. You froze.
I
Now
did.
you're not. Now you're not. You're okay. Uh,
Okay.
so, uh,
Oh, the empathy statement.
okay.
I get that certain things set you off, but recognizing those triggers can help you control your reactions.
Yeah. You know what? I'm I can't help but sit here and just smile from ear to ear because understanding what you just said and how important and valuable that is to life
Yep.
uh, means so much to me because I understand that now. And so
Right.
it's like uh, it's eye opening to me and has been for a little while. So that's that intentional
Right.
healing
Right.
that what's it? There's a word that start with a P. It's not persistence, but being intentional. I can't because I can't remember the word, but being intentional about, oh, so this is why this is happening. So what am I going to do with it? Now that I realize it's an old wound that opened up something old, that means it's time to deal with this.
Right.
So what am I going to do with it? Um,
Right.
it just, like I said, because I understand that now, just is very eye opening to me every time. So, uh, and you did the empathy statement.
Yep.
So we have about 5 more minutes, and then
Okay.
no, yeah, about 5 more minutes. Um,
Okay.
because I'm gonna start closing out early so I can add some stuff to the videos. But Mark might not shut us out, but he can, edit it later. So the next one, go ahead.
Whew, sorry, I was looking ahead now. Hold on, let me find this. Okay.
Help them
Encourage
practice.
encourage them to talk to a trusted adult or counselor about their feelings. Bullying can often be a way to express bottled up emotions. Speaking to a counselor helps manage these feelings constructively and can prevent further harm. The empathy statement is, I know it's hard to talk about how you feel, but having someone listen can really help you process things.
Yeah, that's good.
The next one is help them practice active listening to understand other people's perspectives. My Lord, oh Lord, active listening as opposed to transactional listening. Transactional listening is you're listening to respond as opposed to listening to understand. An active
Yeah,
listener listens to understand. And a transactional listener tries to find their way to prove their point, waiting on you to pause so they can say something.
yeah,
So,
that's good. Thanks for explaining that.
active listening can significantly improve social interactions and empathy, reducing the need to control or dominate others. The empathy statement is listening to how others feel can open your eyes to how your actions affect them. It's a skill that can change relationships.
Yeah, listening is very important, very valuable. And it helps people want to communicate with you because they know you're going to listen and not be so eager to transmit. You know, you're on the receiving end too
Yeah.
to receive. So go
One of
ahead.
my one of my favorite sayings, and one of our friends we just sang background for. It's in her song. She said, "You have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so do more listening. So please, just do more listening." And
Yep.
and that just means further that we are to listen more than we talk. I mean, the evidence is right here in front of you. 2 of these.
Yep.
one mouth. So
Yep.
yeah, just sometimes just sit back and listen to understand. And sometimes it's not necessary to speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need to be heard.
Yeah.
So man.
Yeah. I learned that from you. I tell people all the time I can learn from anybody. It don't matter what their age is.
Right. Yeah,
But that's
wisdom is
because
wisdom.
yeah, because I love learning. And so learning don't have an age. Wisdom comes from any age,
Right.
you know. So
Yep. Out of the mouth of babes, right?
I saw something, a video or something that reminded me of that yesterday. I can't remember what the video was, but it was kids, and the kids, whatever it was, the kids, gave some wisdom, and then anyway, it just reminded me of that scripture.
Mm-hmm.
That you can get wisdom from kids.
Yep.
You know, so you just got to be willing to learn and be
Right.
teachable at
Yep.
any age.
Yep. And I love that scripture when Jesus was talking about um, be like children.
Yep.
And for me, that means children are always exploring. They're
Yep.
always curious about things.
Yep.
They learn from, like you just said, they learn from everything and everyone because they have not gotten to the part where their ego is so strong that I can't learn from you, man.
Yep.
Nah,
Yep.
you can learn from everybody. I mean, look at how martial arts is based off of the movements of different animals. You have to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everything is a lesson, everything is a teacher, and everyone is also a student. So
Yep.
just understand that you at all times should be in both positions, the teacher and the student.
Yep. I agree.
Mm.
So, encourage them to set personal goals for emotional growth. Setting emotional growth fosters self discipline and introspection, which are crucial for curbing harmful behaviors and developing emotional maturity. So, just an empathy statement for a bully would be: growth is a journey, and setting small, manageable goals can help you stay on track. You're capable of so much more than you realize. So, this empathy statement will help a bully, but it can help anybody,
Mhm.
and everybody. This is for everybody.
Right.
So that's a great empathy statement. You want to add something?
No, no, no. Actually, I wanted to kind of bounce around to two more, if we could, before we hop
Okay,
off.
go ahead.
Because I feel
Go
like
ahead.
it's important. So the next one, show them that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. That is a big piece we talk about often. That we in this society, vulnerability is deemed weakness, and actually, it's an incredible strength. It takes a
Yeah,
strong person to allow themselves to be vulnerable and open and real in a world that is manufactured and two-dimensional in so many ways.
yeah,
Vulnerability connects us to others on a deeper level. Studies have shown that those who embrace vulnerability form stronger, healthier relationships.
yeah.
Um, okay,
You
I'm gonna
want me
read
to
these other
read the
two.
empathy? I'll read the
Yeah,
empathy statement and then.
that works.
Okay, so the empathy statement for that is: I know it feels scary to be vulnerable, but it's one of the bravest things you can do. Being real with yourself will help you connect with others.
Say that.
Yeah,
Being real with yourself. You hear that? Being
yeah,
real with yourself. You
yeah,
can you could close it off right there. That sentence can end right there. Being real with yourself.
yeah,
All right. Help them understand the long-term consequences of bullying, both for the victim and themselves. We kind of touched on this earlier. Bullying can lead to long-lasting psychological harm for both the bully and the victim. Studies indicate that bullies are at a higher risk of substance abuse, academic failure, and aggression. And not only the bully, but also the victim.
Yeah.
Um, the empathy statement is bullying might seem like no big deal now, but it leaves scars that last a lifetime for both the victim and you.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mm. Yeah, you got so many gems here. I'm trying to stop, but you got so many. Shoot.
We can save some for next time.
Okay.
Uh, so if you want, you can do one more.
Okay. Okay. Shoot.
So just do that one and the next one.
Okay. Cool. All right. So hold them accountable for their actions in a firm but caring way. Accountability is crucial for growth. Without
Yeah.
it, harmful behaviors continue unchecked, leading to more serious consequences for both parties. The empathy statement is, "I care about you." And part of that means holding you accountable when your actions hurt others. Excuse me. It's how we learn.
Yeah.
Man, holding yourself accountable and being aware of your actions, um, and having a true friend is gonna hold you accountable. They're gonna tell you that you stink,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to. If they don't love
Yeah.
you. If you have a whole bunch of yes men around you, they're not your friends,
Yeah.
and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Uh, and last but certainly not least, encourage them to take ownership of their mistakes without shame. Studies show that owning up to mistakes promotes personal growth. Shame leads to defensiveness, while ownership leads to self improvement. The empathy statement is, owning up to what you've done isn't about shame, it's about growth. You are strong enough to face it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do these last two, um, because we still have a few minutes.
Okay.
uh, Help them see that changing their behavior can lead to more fulfilling relationships. Changing negative behaviors opens doors to trust, respect, and deeper connections. Bullies often find their relationships improve once they stop harming others.
Yep.
So the empathy statement would be, when you treat people with respect, you open the door to deeper, more meaningful relationships. It's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So, you want to read the last one, or you want me to get it?
Yeah, yeah, I got it. This is one of my favorites. And people hate and love me for this. But set clear boundaries and expectations around behavior and to them. Stick to them.
Yes.
Boom! That's a wall.
Yep.
Not forget a brick wall. This is a metal wall right here. You're gonna clang your head, and it ain't gonna make a dent in the door. So, uh, boundaries provide a framework for respectful interactions. Studies show that clear behavioral expectations reduce the incidence of bullying. The empathy statement are it shoot. I'm reading ahead in my mind. Empathy statement is, boundaries are important for everyone's well-being, including yours. You deserve to be in a space where respect is mutual. Can I get
Yeah.
an amen?
Amen. Amen. Y'all, we have some more for the next time. We're going to be talking about other ways to help bullies. This is important because we have not um, shared about how to help the bully. We always shared for
The victim.
the last 2 years about the person that's being bullied, but the bully needs help too.
Yeah.
So, um, what were you going to say?
I just realized you said 2 years. I'm like, dang, it has been that long.
Yeah, it's actually been 2.5 years because it was April.
Yeah. Yikes. So we almost at 100 episodes, right, Amy?
Yeah, this is 85, I think. 86.
Getting
Yeah,
on up there. Huh?
yeah. So we're gonna have to edit some of this out anyway. Um, but so y'all, we I'm glad you have spent this time with us, and hopefully, you have learned from us. The information that we've shared. Hopefully, that has helped you. If you are a bully, or if you're dealing with a bully, how to empathize with them when they're doing their bullying. To get them to think, to change their behavior,
Right.
or if you're the bully, the same. Hopefully, this has helped you to think about how to change your behavior, because hurting and harming people is not helpful at all. You want to share some last words?
Yeah. So, man, so one of the biggest things, you said it already, and we just kind of touched on it. Set those boundaries. Keep it firm. Um, and remember again that you can set the example and try to help a bully, but ultimately the change is on them to make. All you can do is what Gandhi said: be the change in the world that you hope to see. And that's all
Yes.
you can do. You set the example, you set those firm boundaries, and you hold everybody accountable to those boundaries. And but always operate from love. But also, don't be afraid to put a person in check.
Yeah.
I was about to get rated R on your show. Had to help myself.
I'm glad you caught yourself.
It's right there.
All right, we can just leave the studio because Mark is doing something else, so he might be able to come and end. But we're just gonna leave the studio and fix it later. So thanks everybody for joining us, for watching this show. We send you peace, send you love. Take care. See you next time. All right.